Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! In the stillness of the morning, with the sun gently creeping through the blinds, a silk scarf danced in the air, caught between trembling fingers. A whispered caress on vulnerable skin. It left goosebumps in its trail, a reminder of sensations unexplored. The mirror, a trusted confidant, reflected a figure both known and alien. Hair, a russet cascade, framed a face with features sculpted by time. Strong, angular contours and eyes, windows to a soul, held an ancient inquiry. Would anyone notice? The thought was a mere whisper, a temptation whispered in the quietness of the room. As the scarf found its place, a burst of emerald amidst a canvas of fair skin, it wasn't the color or texture that held significance. It was the recognition, a deep sense of acquiescence, as if a fragmented self was piecing together. Recent times had become a tapestry of such moments. Are there any modifications you'd like to make to this introduction? I can offer further edits or generate additional text to build upon this foundation. A delicate silver bracelet worn beneath a long-sleeved shirt. Ballet flats in neutral tones slipped on for quick errands, heart pounding with each step outside the apartment. Small rebellions against a lifetime of expectations. The calendar on the wall showed today's date circled in red. Therapy at 4. The thought brought both relief and terror. Finally, a place to speak the unspoken. "My name is Xavier," came the practiced introduction while driving to the appointment. "And I don't think I'm supposed to be a man." The words hung in the air of the car, both terrifying and freeing. Dr. Marissa Chen's office felt like a sanctuary. Warm lighting, comfortable furniture, and not a hint of judgment in her eyes as Xavier perched nervously on the edge of a leather armchair. "Tell me what brings you here today," she said, voice gentle but professional. The story spilled out haltingly. Childhood memories of envying girls' clothing, the crushing weight of conformity through teenage years, the recent experiments with feminine accessories that felt more authentic than anything else. "I've been trying these small things," Xavier explained, fingers unconsciously touching the scarf. "And when I wear them, I feel right, like I'm finally seeing myself clearly." Dr. Chen nodded, taking notes. "What you're describing, this disconnect between your assigned gender and how you experience yourself, has a name. Have you ever considered you might be transgender?" The word hung in the air. Transgender. It wasn't the first time Xavier had encountered the term, but hearing it applied personally made something click into place. I think I have, but it's terrifying." "That's a completely normal reaction," Dr. Chen assured. "This is the beginning of a journey, not the end. We'll take it one step at a time." 3 sessions later, Xavier arrived wearing a complete feminine outfit for the first time, a wrap dress in deep burgundy that complemented auburn hair that had been allowed to grow out slightly. The material draped elegantly, disguising broader shoulders while emphasizing a naturally narrow waist. "You seem different today," Dr. Chen observed. "More comfortable." "I feel different," came the reply, voice softer than usual. "I borrowed this from an online rental service. Nobody knows it was delivered to me." "And how does wearing it make you feel?" A pause, then, "Like I'm not pretending anymore." The sessions continued weekly. With Dr. Chen's guidance, Xavier began exploring what gender identity truly meant. There were homework assignments, journaling about experiences, reading personal accounts from other transgender individuals, experimenting with presentation at home. The apartment became a sanctuary for self-discovery. A small collection of feminine clothing accumulated, A-line skirts in muted colors, silky blouses that felt heavenly against skin, kitten heels in various styles that took weeks to walk in comfortably. Each new item brought both anxiety and joy. Work remained complicated. As a remote software developer, Xavier could avoid video calls by claiming camera issues, but the double life was exhausting. Man by day in emails and text chats, authentic self by night within the safety of locked doors. Then came the night that changed everything. After weeks of practice, Xavier had finally mastered basic makeup skills from online tutorials. Looking in the mirror at the completed transformation, auburn hair styled femininely, subtle eyeshadow enhancing hazel eyes, burgundy dress complemented by delicate jewelry, something profound happened. For the first time, the person in the reflection looked right, looked complete. The disconnect between inner identity and outer appearance momentarily vanished, replaced by a sense of euphoria so powerful it brought tears. That night, a name emerged, whispered experimentally to the empty apartment. Aaliyah. It felt right in a way Xavier never had. At the next therapy session, Dr. Chen noticed the shift immediately. You seem lighter today. I had what I think was gender euphoria, came the explanation. And I found my name, Aaliyah. Dr. Chen smiled warmly. It's beautiful. Would you like me to use that name and feminine pronouns during our sessions? The question brought unexpected emotion. Yes, please. From that moment, Aaliyah began to emerge more fully. Each therapy session became a milestone in her journey. After 3 months, Dr. Chen broached the subject of medical transition. Have you considered speaking with an endocrinologist about hormone therapy? It's completely optional, of course. Many transgender individuals choose different paths. Aaliyah had researched extensively. I think I want to try. The physical changes, they feel important to me. Then I can provide a referral to a colleague who specializes in transgender healthcare. The appointment was scheduled for the following month. In preparation, Aaliyah chose her outfit carefully, something that represented this turning point. She settled on something subtle but feminine, black leggings and an oversized sweater in mulberry that could be read as androgynous if necessary, but felt authentically her. Dr. Rivera's office was clinical but welcoming. The doctor himself, a middle-aged man with kind eyes, reviewed Aaliyah's medical history and explained the effects of hormone replacement therapy in detail. Estrogen will cause gradual changes to your body, softer skin, fat redistribution, breast development. Some effects are reversible if you stop, others aren't. We'll monitor your health closely with regular blood tests. Aaliyah nodded, taking it all in. I understand the risks and the timeline. This is a marathon, not a sprint, Dr. Rivera cautioned. Physical changes happen over months and years, not days. Are you prepared for that? I've been waiting my whole life, Aaliyah said quietly. I can be patient a little longer. After signing the informed consent forms, the nurse prepared the first injection. Aaliyah rolled up the sleeve of her mulberry sweater, breathing deeply as the needle pierced her skin. It was a small physical sensation, just a pinch, but its significance was enormous. The first step in aligning her body with her true self. Congratulations, Dr. Rivera said with a smile. Most patients remember this day for the rest of their lives. Walking to her car, Aaliyah felt no immediate physical change. Hormones didn't work that quickly, but emotionally, something had shifted. A decision had been made. a path chosen. The first months of hormone therapy were subtle, a slight softening of her skin, emotions that seemed closer to the surface. Aaliyah documented each change meticulously in her journal, celebrating the smallest signs of progress. Work remained complicated. 4 months into hormone therapy, with increasingly feminine features, video meetings became unavoidable. Aaliyah made a decision. She would present as male for these calls, binding back her growing auburn hair and wearing collared shirts, but maintain her feminine identity in all other aspects of life. This compromise weighed heavily. Each video call felt like a betrayal of her true self, but the fear of professional repercussions kept her silent. 6 months into hormone therapy, physical changes became undeniable. Breast development, though still modest, could no longer be hidden under loose clothing. Her face had softened noticeably, body fat redistributing to create more feminine contours. To celebrate this milestone, Aaliyah made a bold decision. She purchased her first bikini, a halter-top style in teal that complemented her auburn hair, and booked a weekend at a small beachside hotel 3 hours from home, somewhere no one would know her. Standing in the hotel room, she slipped on the bikini with trembling hands. The mirror reflected a body in beautiful transition, not fully feminine yet, but authentically hers. For the first time, she felt comfortable in her changing form. The walk from hotel room to poolside felt like crossing a threshold. Each step in her white cover-up dress and sandals carried her further from her old life and deeper into authenticity. When she finally settled onto a lounge chair and removed the cover-up, revealing herself in the teal bikini, she held her breath, waiting for stares or comments. None came. Other guests paid her no attention, focused on their own relaxation. This ordinary acceptance was perhaps the most extraordinary gift. That evening, sitting on her balcony watching the sunset over the ocean, Aaliyah made a decision. It was time to stop hiding. The process began with her closest friend, Emma, who received a carefully crafted email explaining Aaliyah's journey and asking for understanding. The response came within hours: unconditional support and a request to meet the real you. They arranged dinner at Aaliyah's apartment. She wore a simple black dress with 3/4 sleeves, her auburn hair now long enough to style in a feminine bob. When Emma arrived, there was a moment of adjustment in her expression, then a warm smile. "You look beautiful," Emma said, embracing her. "And so much happier." Over dinner, Emma asked thoughtful questions about Aaliyah's journey, offering support without judgment. By the evening's end, their friendship felt not just intact, but strengthened. "Thank you for trusting me with this," Emma said at the door. "I'm honored to know the real you." Emboldened by this success, Aaliyah began carefully expanding her circle of truth. Her parents were next, the most terrifying conversation of all. She drove 6 hours to their suburban home, rehearsing her words the entire way. They knew she was coming, but not why. When she arrived, wearing jeans and a feminine blouse in forest green, their shock was evident. "Mom, Dad," she began, voice steady despite her racing heart. "I have something important to tell you. I'm transgender. My name is Aaliyah now." What followed was difficult. Confusion, hurt, theological objections. But beneath it all, love remained. By evening's end, no consensus had been reached, but a door remained open. They would need time, but hadn't rejected her outright. "We don't understand," her mother said. "But you're our child. We're trying." Work required a different approach. After consulting with HR, Aaliyah scheduled a meeting with her direct supervisor, Marcus. She arrived wearing a professional pantsuit in navy, her auburn hair neatly styled, makeup subtle but feminine. "I appreciate your honesty," Marcus said, after she explained her situation. "We'll need to coordinate with HR on the logistics. Email changes, benefits updates, but your job isn't in jeopardy. Your work has always been excellent." The company-wide announcement was made via email, brief, professional, informing colleagues of her name change and pronoun preference. Responses varied from enthusiastic support to awkward silence, but the professional environment remained respectful. 1 year after beginning hormone therapy, Aaliyah celebrated by hosting a small gathering at her apartment. Emma, 2 supportive coworkers, and her therapist, Dr. Chen, who had been invited as both a professional and a friend. "I can't believe how far you've come," Dr. Chen said privately during the party, taking in Aaliyah's confident posture and genuine smile. She wore a fitted dress in emerald green, the same color as that first experimental scarf, her auburn hair now falling past her shoulders. "Neither can I sometimes," Aaliyah admitted. "There are still hard days, but they're outnumbered by the good ones now." "That's the goal of therapy, not to eliminate challenges, but to build resilience to face them." The journey continued with both victories and setbacks. Dating proved particularly challenging. Aaliyah created profiles on several apps, being transparent about her transgender identity, but faced rejection and occasional cruelty. Then she met Daniel, an architectural engineer who messaged her after reading her profile completely. Their first date at a quiet cafe stretched from an intended hour to nearly 4, conversation flowing naturally. "When can I see you again?" he asked as they finally prepared to leave, his interest genuine and respectful. 3 months into dating, their relationship deepened. Daniel proved consistently supportive, educating himself about transgender issues without making Aaliyah responsible for his learning. "You know what I love about you?" he said one evening as they cooked dinner together in his apartment. "Your courage, living authentically despite everything. It's inspiring." Aaliyah, stirring pasta sauce in a burgundy sweater and jeans, felt warmth spread through her chest. "It hasn't always felt like courage. Sometimes it just felt like survival." "Those can be the same thing." He wrapped his arms around her from behind, a gesture that felt both protective and respectful of her strength. As the relationship progressed, Aaliyah began considering her next steps. After 18 months on hormone therapy, she scheduled consultations with surgeons about gender-affirming procedures. The decisions were intensely personal, involving careful research and soul-searching. "Surgery isn't required to validate your identity," Dr. Chen reminded her during a session. "These are deeply personal choices." "I know," Aaliyah replied, wearing a comfortable dress in chocolate brown. "But for me, certain procedures feel necessary for my complete well-being." After consultation with multiple surgeons, Aaliyah scheduled facial feminization surgery, a procedure to soften certain features and align her appearance more closely with her gender identity. The recovery would be challenging, requiring weeks away from work. Daniel offered to help during her recovery. "I've saved up vacation time. Let me be there for you." His support touched her deeply. "Are you sure? It won't be pretty." "I'm sure about you," he said simply. "The rest is just logistics." The surgery itself passed in a blur of anesthesia. Waking in recovery, face bandaged and swollen, Aaliyah experienced momentary panic until Daniel's hand found hers. "You're doing great," he assured her. "Everything went according to plan." The recovery period proved more difficult than anticipated. Pain, swelling, and the inability to see immediate results tested Aaliyah's patience. Daniel remained constant, helping with medications, gentle cleaning around bandages, and emotional support. What if it doesn't look right? She worried one night, face still swollen, but bandages now removed. What if I've made a mistake? Then we'll handle it, Daniel promised. But give it time. Healing isn't linear. He was right. As weeks passed, swelling subsided, gradually revealing subtle but significant changes. Her brow less pronounced, jaw softer, features harmonizing in a way that reflected her inner self more accurately. Looking in the mirror 6 weeks post-surgery, wearing a simple tank top in lavender with her auburn hair pulled back, Aaliyah recognized herself completely for the first time. The person looking back wasn't a work in progress or a compromise, just her, Aaliyah, as she was meant to be. There you are, she whispered to her reflection. Returning to work brought new challenges. Despite previous acceptance of her transition, the more feminine appearance following surgery prompted some uncomfortable reactions. Comments disguised as compliments, "You look so different now," carried undertones of judgment. Aaliyah navigated these waters with newfound confidence, focusing on her professional contributions rather than others' perceptions. Her work had always been exceptional, and she let that speak for itself. 2 years into her transition, Aaliyah received an unexpected email from her mother. "Your father and I would like you to come home for Thanksgiving, as yourself, as Aaliyah." The invitation brought tears. Their relationship had remained strained but intact, communication limited to occasional phone calls where they carefully avoided difficult topics. This represented a significant shift. "Are you sure?" she asked her mother during their next call. "I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable." "We've been doing a lot of thinking," her mother replied, "and talking with some parents of other transgender people at a support group. We're trying to understand better." Thanksgiving approached with equal parts anticipation and anxiety. Aaliyah chose her outfit carefully, a sweater dress in deep burgundy with black tights, professional but feminine, her auburn hair now long enough to pull into an elegant updo. Daniel offered to accompany her. "Family gatherings can be intense, even without these dynamics." "Thank you," she said, grateful beyond words. "But I think I need to do this first visit alone." The drive to her childhood home felt surreal. When she arrived, her mother opened the door and paused, taking in her daughter's appearance, so different from the son she had raised. "Aaliyah," she said, the name still sounding unpracticed on her lips. "Welcome home." The evening progressed with awkward moments. Her father occasionally slipping with pronouns, correcting himself with visible effort, extended family members varying in their reactions. But beneath the discomfort lay genuine attempts at understanding. After dinner, her mother pulled her aside, taking her hands. "You look happy," she observed. "Truly happy. I didn't understand before, but seeing you now, I can see this is right for you." Tears filled Aaliyah's eyes. "That means everything to me." That night, in her childhood bedroom, surrounded by remnants of her past self, Aaliyah reflected on her journey. The road had been difficult, would continue to have challenges, but she had found her truth. Living authentically wasn't always easier. In many ways, it was harder, but it was infinitely more fulfilling. The following spring, Aaliyah received an unexpected opportunity at work, a promotion that would involve presenting at conferences and becoming a more public face for the company. "We need your expertise," her director explained, "and frankly, your communication skills are exceptional." The offer was both flattering and terrifying. Public speaking had always been difficult. Doing so as a visibly transgender woman added complex layers. "Can I think about it?" she asked. That evening, discussing the opportunity with Daniel over dinner, Aaliyah voiced her concerns. "What if my visibility as a transgender woman overshadows the work itself?" Daniel considered this thoughtfully. "That might happen sometimes, but isn't your journey part of what makes your perspective valuable? You've navigated massive personal change while maintaining professional excellence. That's relevant experience for a technology company constantly managing change." His perspective shifted something in her thinking. "I never considered my transition as professional development before. Maybe it's time to start." Aaliyah accepted the promotion. Her first major presentation came 3 months later, a conference room filled with industry professionals and potential clients. Standing at the podium in a tailored navy pantsuit, auburn hair elegantly styled, she took a deep breath. "Good morning," she began, voice clear and confident. "My name is Aaliyah Mitchell, and I'm here to discuss how adaptive systems respond to fundamental changes in operating conditions." The presentation was a success, her expertise shining through initial nervous moments. Afterward, several attendees approached with thoughtful questions about the technology, engaging with her ideas rather than her identity. One woman, a senior engineer from a partner company, pulled her aside. "I just wanted to say thank you for being so visible. My daughter is transgender, just starting her journey. Seeing someone like you succeeding professionally gives me hope for her future." The comment caught Aaliyah off guard. "I never thought of myself as representation," she admitted. "That's often how it works," the woman replied. "We become what we needed to see, without realizing it." That conversation planted a seed. As Aaliyah continued excelling professionally, she began cautiously accepting invitations to speak on diversity panels and mentor younger transgender professionals entering the tech industry. Daniel supported this expansion of her work, proud of her growing influence. Their relationship had deepened over time, their connection based on mutual respect and genuine understanding. 3 years into her transition, on a weekend trip to the coast where she had first worn that teal bikini, Daniel proposed on the beach at sunset. The moment was perfect. Waves crashing nearby, sky painted in brilliant orange and purple, her auburn hair catching the fading light. "You've shown me what courage looks like," he said, ring in hand. "What authenticity means. I want to build a life with you, Aaliyah. Will you marry me?" The joy that filled her was boundless. "Yes," she whispered, then louder. "Yes!" Planning their wedding brought unexpected challenges. Aaliyah wanted her parents involved, but worried about potential tension. To her surprise, her mother embraced the role enthusiastically, helping research venues and joining dress shopping appointments. "I missed so much of your journey," her mother admitted during one such outing. "I don't want to miss this, too." Trying on wedding dresses proved emotionally complex. Standing before the boutique mirror in a flowing A-line gown, Aaliyah caught a glimpse of her mother wiping away tears. "What's wrong?" she asked, suddenly anxious. Her mother shook her head. "Nothing's wrong. You're beautiful. I wish I had understood sooner, supported you sooner." "You're here now," Aaliyah said, embracing her. "That's what matters." The wedding was planned for the following spring, a garden ceremony with cherry blossoms in bloom. As the date approached, Aaliyah reflected on the journey that had brought her to this point. From that first experimental scarf to standing confident in her complete identity, accepting love, and building a future she once couldn't imagine possible. The night before her wedding, Emma organized a small gathering of close friends, a modern take on a bridal party celebration. Surrounded by women who had supported her journey, Aaliyah felt a profound sense of belonging. To Aaliyah, Emma toasted, raising her glass, who showed us all that becoming yourself is the greatest achievement of all. The wedding day dawned clear and perfect. In the bridal suite, Aaliyah sat before the mirror as a stylist arranged her auburn hair in an elegant updo adorned with small white flowers. Her dress, an off-shoulder design in classic ivory, complemented her figure perfectly. Her father knocked gently before entering, stopping short at the sight of her.
"Aaliyah,"
he said, voice thick with emotion.
"You look beautiful, honey."
The words, and the genuine acceptance behind them, meant everything. "Thank you, Dad." He offered his arm. "Ready to get married?" Walking down the aisle toward Daniel, who watched her approach with undisguised admiration, Aaliyah felt the culmination of her journey. Not an ending, but a milestone in a life now lived authentically. Their vows, written personally, acknowledged the unique path that had brought them together. "I promise to continue growing alongside you," Daniel said, "to celebrate each chapter of your becoming and mine." "I promise to bring my whole self to our marriage," Aaliyah responded, "to trust you with my truth, always, as you have earned that trust completely." The reception celebrated not just their union, but the community that had supported Aaliyah's journey. Colleagues, friends, family members who had made efforts to understand, all raised glasses to the couple's future. In a quiet moment during the celebration, Aaliyah found herself standing alone briefly, watching the joyful gathering. Dr. Chen approached, elegant in a formal dress. "Congratulations," the therapist said warmly. "Not just on your marriage, though that's wonderful. Congratulations on creating this life authentically yours." Aaliyah smiled, touching the simple diamond pendant at her throat, Daniel's wedding gift. "I couldn't have done it without your guidance." "You did the hard work," Dr. Chen corrected gently. "I just created space for you to discover your truth." Looking around at the celebration, her parents dancing awkwardly but enthusiastically, Emma laughing with coworkers, Daniel being welcomed completely into her world, Aaliyah felt profound gratitude. The journey hadn't been easy. There would be challenges ahead. There always were. But she had found her path, her people, her truth. The woman in emerald green who had once whispered a new name to an empty apartment had become this bride, surrounded by love and acceptance, beginning a new chapter of authentic life. And she was, at last and completely, herself.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!